Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Here to talk about PlayStation on PC. And what is that? Bloodborne news? Bloodborne news? We're talking about Bloodborne? What's going on? What's going on? Is this the year, the year of our Lord and Savior? No. Okay, so, as you guys might know, Bloodborne is the PlayStation game that, alongside Ghost of Tsushima, to be honest, let's not, Bro, I've been shocked by how many people want Ghost of Tsushima on PC, and I'm sure that game is coming to PC. Bloodborne is I'm not gonna say it's Half-Life 3 territory, but it's getting pretty damn close to Half-Life 3 territory of people wanting that game on PC, and we have not an update on whether or not the game is coming anytime soon, but this is a very interesting post by Imran Khan over on the Reset Era board, noting that Bloodborne PC and PS5 was at the point in the works. Haven't heard anything in literal years, so I wouldn't hold my breath, but Lance was correct there. So, a lot to digest there. If you remember, a couple years ago, I did upload a video covering this story. I want to say it was in 2022 when the PlayStation on PC stuff was really hitting like a fever pitch, and we were getting a lot of games on PC. You know, like God of War was coming, Horizon and Days Gone had already dropped at that point, but we were getting a lot of these PlayStation on PC games, and it just seemed like a foregone conclusion that Bloodborne not only would get a PlayStation 5 remaster, but it would also get a PC version, because guess what? These companies, they exist to make money. What is the best way to generate a lot of money? Oh, Bloodborne on PC and PlayStation 5, and I have no doubt in my mind that at some point it will happen, and I will go back to that in a second, but it's so interesting to me that it was in the works for a while, and then it either got scrapped or it got canned, in the sense that either it's finished or they had progress done on it, but they decided to pause development on it and shift those workers to other projects. That could be a possibility, but I say that could be a possibility if they were, down bad, desperate to get developers onto, doing live service games. Yo, I just offer this to you guys as an idea, and this is my absolute pessimism. This is me just hating the world type talk. Imagine, Bloodborne on PC and PlayStation 5 was in development, but then whoever was in charge... Remember, the time where Bloodborne would be in development is also around the time that, theoretically, Sony would be shifting into doing a lot of live service games that could generate them a lot of revenue for years and years. Well, Bloodborne is a title that could generate a lot of revenue for, when it came out, and also I would argue that it would generate revenue for years and years, given that Dark Souls, Sekiro, all those games, they're bought constantly, but I digress. Imagine they're like, alright guys, stop development on Bloodborne, it ain't it, go work on Concord, go work on Fair Game, not those games in particular, but go work on live service projects instead, they're gonna make us more money. I have no idea if that happened, but I want you guys to just think about a hypothetical world where that happened, and that's just my mind going crazy. And can you imagine that that was the reasoning? Again, that's totally me throwing a dart on the board. That probably wasn't the reason, and I would imagine that if Bloodborne PC and PlayStation 5 was in development, I would think it was being done by Bluepoint. That would make all the sense in the world to me, but maybe it would be handled by a different studio, I don't know. But Bloodborne getting an upgraded release, I would just have to think that Sony, the execs, whoever's involved with making decisions like this, they're not dumb. At least I would like to think they're not dumb, and they know what's going to generate a lot of revenue. And at the end of the day, Bloodborne getting an upgraded release, yes, it would be an undertaking, and it would probably cost quite a bit of money to do it, but it would be far less than doing an outright brand new AAA title. We all know that to be the case. And the return on Bloodborne on PC and PlayStation 5 would be astronomical. Are we even doubting that Bloodborne, bundled in with the old Hunters, released $60 on PC? That's selling 1 million copies easily day one. It's selling 1 million copies easily on PlayStation 5. This would be one of those games that if I was Sony and I was just trying to make the most amount of money possible, knowing that I could pop off with Bloodborne on PlayStation 5, I wouldn't even offer an upgrade path. I wouldn't even give you the $10 an upgrade, the $10 upgrade option like they did with Last of Us Part 2. Hell, if they could get away with that with Last of Us Part 1, you telling me they can't get away with Bloodborne, a game that people want to remaster and upgraded release of way more than they wanted of The Last of Us Part 1 back in 2022? You damn right they want Bloodborne more, and you could easily price that at $60, and it would just generate a ton of money, and I would have to think that these companies know that, and ultimately they will do the things that will generate them a lot of money, and Bloodborne on PC and PlayStation 5 would absolutely do that. And the thing is, it would generate them way more money than a AAA game being developed ground up, and it would be a lot less of an investment. Again, that whole thing about them focusing on live service games, yeah, Sony is certainly doing that. Like, you can't even argue that they're not doing that. They're absolutely doing that. Look at the first-party lineup of PlayStation this year for PlayStation 5. Oh, guess what? It's non-existent outside of potentially just live service games. They've got a lot of third-party published titles coming out, like Stellar Blade, Rise of Ronin, etc., but as far as first party goes, it's a barren wasteland. But, you know, Bloodborne, I think, will ultimately happen just because, again, it would just generate so much money. We're talking, like, easily 1 million copies sold, 2 million copies sold day one for a remaster, and I'm not even saying it has to be a full-on remake. It just came out back in 2015, and I mean, 2015 is almost a decade ago at this point, but the game still looks really good. The issue is that game runs horribly on the PlayStation 4. I loved Bloodborne. It is my favorite game from Software, but that game runs absolutely atrociously on the PS4, and legitimately, if you go back and play that game, you're dipping at like 23 frames per second, and ain't nobody trying to play it that way. People want to play it at 60 FPS, and people, you know, would love to see it getting upgraded in the sense of, you know, better visuals, but mainly, I think most people just want the higher frame rate, and on PC, it would do so well. Like, bro, they are porting Sackboy: A Big Adventure! Sackboy: A Big Adventure, guys! Sackboy: A Big Adventure! I love me some Little Big Planet. I don't like Sackboy as a character, but Sackboy: A Big Adventure, guys, and we can't get damn Bloodborne on PC? Like, who's making these decisions? Like, I'm sure maybe Sackboy was a little bit easier to port. No slight on my boy Sackboy, but, like, let's be real here for a second. Bloodborne would make orders of magnitude more money than Sackboy, and that's what we're getting. And even if they don't want to port it to PC, why hasn't it at least been remastered onto PlayStation 5? I'm sure they have their reasoning. I'm sure they have, you know, their methodical thinking, but in a year where Sony's first-party releases are a little bit barren, and I get it that Bloodborne was done by From Software, that would be a third-party game, but, you know, if you're handing it off to Bluepoint or whatever, a first-party release from them, incentivizing people, you know, jolting up that lineup in 2024 a little bit, I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe they deem it as the early portion of 24 is already packed. Let's do it in the fall, but Bloodborne is something that should have been done years ago. Why wasn't it released last year? Which, by the way, also last year, Sony had a wasteland of a release schedule outside of Spider-Man 2. One game for the entirety of the year, guys. Why not throw in a Bloodborne PlayStation 5 remaster to, you know, heat up that year a little bit? I'm so confused as to why this hasn't happened, and yes, I'm confused on why a lot of things haven't happened. Why isn't Red Dead Redemption on PC? I talk about things that seem obvious to generate a lot of money. Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC would do that, you know, very well as well, and I do think that's gonna happen at some point as well. Rockstar just being Rockstar with these delayed releases on PC, you know how they are, but Bloodborne, it's just like, people have wanted this for years, man, years and years and years, and for some reason, it still hasn't happened, but that's gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of rambling. I really hope that my pessimistic viewpoint of, you know, they were working on Bloodborne and then they were like, nah, live service it is. I don't think that happened. It's just, that's my absolute worst case scenario, and I doubt that was the reasoning, but it's just like, I like you guys to ponder things that absolutely crush the soul like I do. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.